Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday Dharma gathering. I'm so glad to see people in the Hondo. It's been a long time, so welcome back. I was planning to wear a cute little sundress this morning, and then when I looked out the window, I realized that that wouldn't do at all. But every day's a good day, as my mother says, when my eyes open. So welcome back. Thank you to Ros Dong, District Ministerial Assistant, who will be leading our service today. We're going to begin with Sutra chanting. That will be Junirai on page 49, and it'll also be on screen for those of us who are joining us on Zoom. Sensei? Back to you, Ross, to present our Dharma message. Is our ministerial assistant, Ros Dong.
I thought I'd have a moment to catch my breath, but that's okay. I am so happy to see all of you. I have missed you more than words can say. It was just so heartwarming to hear a voice chanting besides my own. And this is just a joyous occasion. My heart is going like this. You know, it feels like the first time, but that's good. It shows that I'm fully present, and I hope that each of you are too. So I want to start with a slide to introduce my Dharma talk, and my very competent helper is in the office. I attempted to, okay, now I'm going to have to do this. Oh, yay, I did something right. I said about technology, the learning curve for me is very steep. And I tried very hard to get it to do just 3 slides this morning, but I chickened out. So maybe next time. But anyway, excuse me, My topic today is a new beginning, Vista Buddhist Temple Sangha. So I want to talk about Sangha and what it means to be a part of Sangha and to be present, and how that is such a tremendous benefit when we do that. So this is a picture I saw on Twitter, and it seemed to have a meaningful way for me to talk about what I wanted to talk about today. If you see the root, I had to really zoom in to see who put this on Twitter, and it's not a full name. It just says, "For Joanna with Gratitude, Dory." So that's where I got it. Anyway, if you look at the roots, it says gratitude. And then running along the stem, it says honoring our pain. And to me, that's the mental and physical pain that we've endured going through the pandemic. And as you move up to the flower, it says, seeing with new eyes. And that's the important message for today, the seeing with new eyes. And the other end of that is going forth. So I just saw this as being a way to begin talking about coming together as Sangha again. So one of the things I like about new beginning rather than new normal, new beginning sounds optimistic. And new normal sounds like, let's get back to the same old, same old. It doesn't carry the enthusiasm that I think when we think of new beginning. Actually, every morning you get up, it's a new beginning. When you wake up and you know you're still here and you've got a new beginning to fill a day with whatever possibilities. So new beginning is not something that we're unfamiliar with. Maybe we don't stop to think about getting up as a new beginning, but it really is. So I want to have you join me in God's show as we go to the next slide. And these are the words from Shiran Shoni. I was supposed to move over. Okay. We good? Okay. Join me in God's show. How joyous I am, my heart and mind being rooted in the Buddha ground of the universal vow. My thoughts and feelings flow within the Dharma ocean, which is beyond comprehension. I am deeply aware of Tathagata's immense compassion, and I sincerely revere the benevolent care behind the Master's teaching activity. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So reading these words of Shinran brings immense feeling of joy to me to be able to hear the Dharma in this most sacred space, our temple. So this day could really be described as a joyous occasion. We're coming out of a long pandemic with hope that the worst is behind us. A new beginning is optimistic approach to moving forward one day at a time. The pandemic is not completely over, as we well know. I went to an event yesterday where majority of the people did not have masks on, but it was spacious, so I wasn't really concerned. But I know the pandemic is not over. And so when I'm out and when my husband's out, we have our mask on. And we plan to continue to do that until such time that we feel like the risk is so low, we don't have to do that. So April is the month we celebrate the birth of the Buddha, another joyous occasion. When we think about the importance of a new beginning, we can look at the Buddha's life as an example. Siddhartha left the wealthy physical comforts of being born a prince to begin looking for the meaning of suffering in human life. He became a seeker and spent 6 years living as an ascetic. When that became futile, that way of life, when he saw that was not leading to what he was seeking, he changed again. So in the last time when Siddhartha left being an ascetic, he chose a different path. And this path is the one that led to his awakening to the causes and conditions of human suffering. Shinran Shonin, the founder of our Shin Buddhist practice, and his teacher Honin, both had to find new ways to begin anew after they were exiled as punishment for spreading the Pure Land teaching of Nimbutsu to commoners. Up until Shinran and Honin, the Buddhism was for the monks and for the wealthy, the elite. So we have a debt of gratitude to Shinran and to Honin for making it available to everybody. So Shinran and Honin began in places very different and difficult from where they had previously been living. Shinran's ability to adapt and persevere resulted in us knowing the Pure Land teaching as we know it today. Now that we are back to hearing the Dharma in the temple, how do we begin anew as a sangha? Of the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the Buddha praised the Sangha as most important. If there is no one hearing the Dharma, how can it be spread to benefit others? So teachers need students, and students need teachers. And that's what we have when we are part of a Sangha. I'd like to refer to Dr. Nobuo Haneda's book, Dharma Breeze, in which he wrote, realistically speaking, among the three treasures, the Sangha is the most important. Becoming a member of the Sangha of a living tradition is the most important thing in Buddhism. It is the Sangha that enables us to gain insight into the Buddha and the Dharma, end quote. Haneda Sensei continues by saying the Sangha is a place where we can have true friends come together seeking the Dharma. And as I look around, I see all my true friends. And again, that brings such happiness to see you. He further writes that the Pure Land is symbolized by the Sangha. And I don't know that I read in any other Shin Buddhist writings looking at the Sangha as the Pure Land. But Haneda Sensei sees it this way. And he says, having true friends is the greatest happiness and liberation taught in Buddhism. We see the reflection of the Buddha Dharma in each other as we come together. And to me, the relief from not having to give a Dharma talk, looking at a screen and not actually seeing, well, they got the little boxes, but it just never resonated with me. And I was kind of kicking and screaming about it, but it was necessary. So it was actually a form of a new beginning. In order to hear the Dharma, to keep our Sangha going, that's what we had to do. So I had to stop kicking and screaming and fall into line. So now that the temple is open, when each of us decides to come back, it's an individual decision based on personal circumstances. I realize how cozy it may have become to listen to the Dharma in the comfort of one's home, not even having to bother to dress. enjoying a cup of coffee while relaxing in one's favorite comfortable chair or sofa. However, being a part of a sangha requires us to show up for each other as much as we can. When we are together in person, we can check with each other and find out, well, how are you doing? How have you been? Sangha is a place where we nurture and support each other during life's challenges and celebrate together life's joys as they arise. It is a way that the practice of Buddha's teaching of interconnection and compassion can happen. As we return to temple, we become a necessary part in bringing and helping our sangha maintain vibrancy and strength through whatever changes become necessary going forward. We look for the positive aspects that can be found in change. We let change happen without fighting against it, as I once did about using Zoom. We can let nature show us how to be comfortable with change. Nature teaches us the lesson of transition as we watch one season change into another. It is currently spring season, and nature offers a Dharma lesson in renewal. Renewal happens in nature only by letting go what was, pass away, and allow something new and fresh to appear. In my morning walks with my dog, I see flowers that have appeared where previously there were none. Leaves are beginning to sprout on trees and bushes. Birds that have wintered in other places have now returned to find a mate, build a nest, and propagate the species. And actually, if I would stop talking, you would hear the birds singing outside. It's the time when nature is very active in the process of renewing. As much as we regretted seeing the temple close, the Buddhist teaching of non-attachment came into play. A quote from the teaching of the Buddha says, "Don't be attached even to good things." We had to leave a very good thing behind, which was hearing the Dharma in our temple. It was necessary to close the temple to keep all of us safe from the virus, as you're well aware. So impermanence is the reason the Buddha tells us not to be attached even to good things. Everything changes, including us. Non-attachment will prevent us from suffering when things change. We are well aware of the many changes that the pandemic brought into all of our lives. We let go of any attachment to wanting things to be as they used to be. And I realized this morning that I was sitting there, why can't things be like, why do I have to use a computer? Why do I, let it go, Roz, let it go. A new beginning means we return to our temple filled with gratitude and bow deeply to all the causes and conditions that have been in place to keep us on the Nimbutsu path, while not being able to meet in person. We have been patient with reopening process in order to maintain our health and protect the health of others. Our interconnection with others has been clearly shown to us during the lockdown, as every effort has been made to avoid sickness. This is truly a day to express gratitude for how we have weathered the storm of the pandemic and once again sit together as a VBT Shin Buddhist Sangha. I'd like to read another passage. This is the third slide, and it's a reminder to all of us who have chosen Buddhism as a path and what it does when we are actively a part of a sangha. So it says, excuse me, may all practitioners, persons of deeply entrusting mind, single-heartedly entrust themselves to the Buddha's words alone, and thinking not of their lives, but relying utterly on the practice of Nimbutsu, abandon what the Buddha brings them to abandon, practice what the Buddha brings them to practice, leave what the Buddha brings them to leave. This is called being in accord with the Buddha's teaching, being in accord with the Buddha's intent. This is being in accord with Amida Buddha's vow. This is the true disciple of the Buddha. And in this quote, that's us. That describes who we are. That describes why we come and why we want to keep coming and why we want to be involved in keeping our Sangha strong. In the April issue of the Vista View newsletter, VBT board president Rick Schlesinger shared his view on the importance of Sangha, and I texted Ricky and said, "Can I use your quote?" And he said, "I'd be honored." So this is what Ricky had to say. Being part of the VBT Sangha is very special. Gathering among our diverse group to listen to the Dharma with this community is a treasure. Vista Buddhist Temple is our spiritual home to practice and study Buddhism. And in order for us to remain strong, we need everybody to join together. When Ricky's leadership as board president and the dedicated support of board members and others, we are ready, or I should have said with Ricky's leadership, we're ready to go forward to keep our Sangha the so-called poster child of the BCA temples, and that's what we were referred to in the past. For that to happen, full participation is needed from all of us. So in summary, we are deeply grateful for this time of beginning anew by bringing the VBT Sangha together in person after 2 years. These are the main points I'd like to leave you with. The return to in-person services at VBT offers optimism for a new beginning as a strong, vibrant, diverse Sangha. We return with a beginner's mind so that any attachment to how things used to be are released. We are open to hear the Dharma in new and fresh ways. We offer gratitude for all that we have received from the causes and conditions contributed by others to bring us to this day. We renew our commitment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, striving wholeheartedly to keep our Sangha strong. Seems like there's a slogan floating around that says, "Build back better." I don't know if you've heard that or not. I heard it somewhere. And we answered, yes, we can. We renew our commitment to saying Namo Amida Butsu, offering gratitude to the light of Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion that shines on us always. And I'd like to close by reading Shimran Shoni's quote that I began with. So join me in God's show. How joyous I am, my heart and mind being rooted in the Buddha ground of the universal vow, and my thoughts and feelings flowing within the Dharma ocean, which is beyond comprehension. I am deeply aware of Tathagata's immense compassion, and I sincerely revere the benevolent care behind the Master's teaching activity. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sensei, for your new beginning. I encourage all of those who are still on Zoom to join us in the Hondo again. It's so nice to see people filling the seats. Today's reading is Listen on page 24. Listen, listen, listen to the voice of the Dharma. Listen to birds singing in the morning, the wind sighing in the boughs overhead, and the roar of the waves on the beach. Listen to the rain on the roof and the snow falling in the fields. The Dharma speaks to us through the sounds of the world, forcefully and eloquently and beautifully. It speaks of the unending change around us, the immutable truth of interdependence, and the peace in nature. Do we have the ears to hear and listen? Listen to the Nembutsu in the Hondo. Listen to the noble silence of the Buddha. Namaste. Namaste. I have a few announcements this morning. Not sure they're the same ones on the screen, but we'll do our best. Every week on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., we have the Mindfulness in Shin Buddhism via Zoom. Join us for meditation, chanting, listening, and reflection. Online Dharma Recovery every Sunday at 12:30 via Zoom. And the Dharma School Connection today and April the 17th at 11 a.m. via Zoom. And if you need more information, please contact the temple, vvt@vvtemple.org. Also, Sunday, April the 17th, 10 a.m., we will continue to have a hybrid service. And again, I encourage people to come in person if you can. You need to make a reservation if you plan to come in person. There will be a weekly link emailed to you. You can also call the temple office and leave a message. There is a capacity of 50 members, which we haven't met today, so I'm still telling people come, please. On April the 24th, starting from 2 o'clock until about 4, we're going to have a Birth of the Buddha celebration. We'll have some various activities to do. There will be birthday cake. And if you would like, you can order a bento to take home with you. Those bento orders are due this coming Wednesday, April the 13th. And RSVPs to attend the event will be due on April the 18th. Again, if you have questions, you can contact the temple. And plug for the Buddhist Women's Association one more time. It's not too late to join the temple membership. It's $20 for all women of the temple. Encourage you to join. We haven't been particularly active the past 2 years, but we do fundraising activities primarily to support the Dharma School. This concludes our Dharma gathering this morning. If you would join me in Gassho, please. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. For those on Zoom, this concludes the service for today. For those of you in the Hondo, if you would like to remain, Sensei Ros is going to conduct an adult discussion. So you're welcome